The headlight switch is here on the screen. You just press it right here, and it pops up all your lighting options. So this is where you can have headlights on, automatic headlights, parking lights, which gives you a warning that you're only turning the parking lights on, and then you can turn the headlights off here, and then once again, it gives you a warning there, letting you know that you're turning off the headlights. But the automatic function, you just basically leave it there. For most people will be fine, so you don't have to go in here that much. Interior lights are here, and this will be for your ambient lights. So you can say I have it set to red, but we can change the color to blue, purple, different shade of blue, orange, light, like a teal color, and then a green. There's also a brightness setting here as well. If you want to go deeper into the lighting settings, you can hit this button up here, and we can go into the automatic high beams, daytime running lamps, and the delay for the auto lamp there. When you walk up to the vehicle with the key, it has the full proximity system, and it'll sense the key and allow you access to the vehicle and everything, but it doesn't automatically turn on any lights. So as I approach the vehicle, walk up with the key, some vehicles will turn on lights and stuff like that. This one doesn't do it. You hit the unlock button, and then you'll see an approach light here on the side that illuminates the entire side of the vehicle. There is parking lights on, not headlights, and some interior lights are on now as well. And then you have the code buttons will illuminate as well here. Now I have the parking lights on, and here at the front is kind of like a parking light and an accent light all in one, because it looks pretty cool. We have these different segments here. So you can see this top one, and then there's a connecting one here, and then there's another one that connects the entire front end. Now it's kind of brighter here on the outside. It's kind of like serving as a daytime running light as well. It actually says DRL right here. So this will be brighter during the day, but serves also as the parking light as well. But yeah, looking pretty good. Has a nice presence to it. It's not overly bright. You're not going to mistake these for headlights or anything. Now there is a fairly bright amber side marker here on the front. The tail lights wrap around to the side of the vehicle, so they serve as a side marker as well, and they're red in color. And they're fairly bright. They're bright, definitely bright. They're blowing out the camera, but it's a nice deep red color. The camera makes them look brighter and oranger, because they are quite bright there on the side. Looking this way, they're not quite as bright. And then you have these little centerpieces here. More of an accent light, I suppose, just so other cars can see you and stuff. But yeah, looking kind of neat. Has a style and a presence to it. But yeah, looking this way, these taillights are really, really bright. The turn signal here in the front is basically that upper light that's white, but it turns to a super bright amber color. And so it maintains the white color between flashes, but it is bright. Definitely gets your attention. Everybody's gonna see that. And it looks good. It has a good size on the vehicle and brightness level. So yeah, it's gonna get everybody's attention when you put your turn signal on, for sure. There's also a turn signal indicator here on the side mirror. It's amber in color and fairly bright. Visible from the front, the side, and the back. And the turn signal back here in the tail light is basically red, but it is bright and it's a good position. Other people can see it well. But yeah, it is really bright. Blowing out my camera and my eyes right now, man. But yeah, it's red, it's not amber in color. If it was amber, I think it'd be a little bit better, but as it definitely is sharp and bright and gets your attention. The third brake light is at the top of the glass in that rear spoiler, and then the reverse lights are integrated into the tail lights. And we'll see those are also used as the zone lighting. We'll see that in a second. Okay, so let's go ahead and turn on the low beams here. This has a multi-reflector headlight system. And for the low beams, there's two reflectors here at the top that turn on. You can see the lower portion is not illuminated yet. That's the high beams, but up here, like see in there, it's blowing out the camera, but give you an idea that this reflectors with the LEDs there at the top, and there's two of them. They look pretty cool. They complement the accent lights we saw before. And this is a tall vehicle, so the cutoff is fairly high. I'm gonna step back here a little ways. So yeah, the cutoff is about 3 feet off the ground. It's fairly bright down there. Above that is not very bright. So that's tolerable up here as far as if you're another vehicle driving in front of this one. Let's go to the high beams there. And the high beams are the lower portion of this housing. So now we have the upper portion and lower portion, all reflectors that illuminate. And this is a smaller light there, but it looks good. And of course, we're going to go on a dark road to see how they actually perform and work. So let's go to the zone lighting here. So we'll turn off the headlights, go to zone, turn those on, and then we'll go to all zones, just so you can see. But you can turn them on independently, front, back, side to side. But we'll see how all the different zones here. The headlights are off, just keep that in mind. Okay, so with the zone lighting, you'll see that it has the side light here, the approach light, which does a great job of illuminating the entire side of the vehicle here on both sides. But you notice the accent lights are off, and we have a dimmer version of the low beams up here are now illuminated. So you can see it's not the full brightness, it just gives you some light in front of the vehicle. You have light here on the side. So you have front, back, and then side to side zones. And then the light back here is the reverse light, which is super bright, really, really bright lights back here. And this illuminates this area here. But you also have these lights up here. You can see a little light right there. So this illuminates this whole area behind the vehicle. The reverse lights are more projecting further away, and those top lights are projecting closer to the vehicle. So yeah, that's pretty cool. The cargo lights are actually pretty dang good. So we have a single light here on the right side, which does a little bit, but really the things that make this lighting great is these two over-the-shoulder type lights. And these are able to move a little bit in and out. So you can go left to right. So more outside of the vehicle, more inside the vehicle. So you can just press them real quick and adjust their aim, and they do a good job of illuminating the area behind the vehicle, as well as this tailgate area and the cargo area. Now, if you start folding the seats down, then it's not quite as effective in there, but still not bad. This is nice because you get the top. The thing about lights, usually cargo lights are low position. Having the lights coming down, if you have a case or if you have a bag and you're trying to look in there, a lot of cargo areas don't allow you to do that because it's not working. This one is perfect. It goes right into the case or the bag or the box or whatever it is. And you also have fill light like over here. Now there's a little cubby hole that's not getting any light right there. So that's a little bit of a tiny, if you're being super nitpicky, that's a tiny bit of a miss, but not bad. We do have backlit buttons here like that. And we can turn these lights off if we don't want the whole floodlights going on. And you see this single light is not adequate without them. So definitely gonna have those turned on because that makes a world of difference back here. Do have some stuff back here that's not backlit, some USB ports, 12-volt power supply, power inverter, none of that's backlit. Inside of the back door, there's no puddle light. So the approach light doesn't even turn on to help you out with that. So basically it's just, there's nothing to shine on the ground to illuminate the ground to see what you're gonna step in when you get out. So the inside of the door, there's no pocket lights or anything. It has this little accent light, which I have set to red. But yeah, no pocket lights or anything, just a little finder light for the power window switch there. And the seats back here has some subtle light. I'm gonna turn the brightness up on my camera because you can barely see what's going on. We got some black interior, so it's kind of hard to pick up sometimes. So yeah, we just have a light, one on each side of the sunroof, and just enough to get you a little bit of moonlight in here. I wouldn't say it's good at all, really. It's okay. You do have some lights, but you know, it'd be nice to have when these are more like reading lights, you know? So it's just turning on the reading lights. There's not like a full fill light here like we saw in the cargo area. The third row, same thing. We just have that single light there. It illuminates there in the center. And it's nice. It's a nice, you know, subtle light, but sometimes you need more and there's no ability to add more. This is all you get. So it'd be nice if it, you know, had a, you know, some way of just illuminating everything, right? Now there is some backlit buttons over here. Probably can't even see what I'm doing, but yeah, over here, some backlit buttons, no light in the cup holders or anything like that. There's whole compartments here. So there's like a cup holders, and there's compartments there that the light's not going into. It's just going there in the center of the seat. So yeah, floorboard doesn't have much light. Now there is the climate control buttons here that are backlit. But yeah, there's not much light. I mean, it's okay, but you know, sometimes you need more, right? So the driver's door, once again, no puddle light. So they did a great job with the approach light, but then they completely missed the puddle light. You know, the dedicated light that's underneath the door that shines on the ground to show you what you're going to step in when you get out. So it doesn't even turn on. Yeah, there's just no light there. Pretty disappointing, really. Back there's the ambient light there, backlit buttons, no pocket lights or anything like that. And you notice this has is red. It's actually set to green. I forgot that I set it to green. I changed it. But when you open the door, it'll turn red, and then when you close the door, it'll turn back green. So yeah, there's no floorboard illumination or anything there. And once again, here on the front, we just have the reading lights going on. And that's the light we get. Now we do have some pocket lights. We'll look at that. Okay, we're sitting in the driver's seat. I have the interior lights on with the door open. And we'll go ahead and shut it. You see that light turns green again. Interior lights fade out. And I have the brightness on the camera turned up a little bit so you can see what's going on in here. Because there are some dark areas. But the ambient light looks pretty cool. You see in the back door, here in the front, and across the entire dash. And the steering wheel has like this minimalistic design. You'll notice the little flashing lights right here. These are infrared illuminators. I can't see them with my eyes, but the camera sometimes picks them up. And you have that screen here. It's looking good. Yeah, the night view, the dark view of these screens look way better than the daytime. This screen is a little bright during the day for the day mode, but yeah, and it's kind of, I don't know, it's just a little bit disconnected looking compared to that screen. Okay, so you'll notice that it has this compartment here, and there's a little bit of light in here, and there's not actually a light in it. The light is coming from up here. So if you follow the light source here, these lights right here shine down into this area. And it does somewhat of a decent job. There are some dark spots, but it illuminates this area. Now this ambient light also goes in there a little bit as well. But, you know, it's okay. I mean, considering this is an open area, I guess, I don't know. I mean, for me personally, I would have a dedicated light, just a very dim light in here at all times, because it's a quick access compartment and it'd be nice to have some kind of lighting in there that's dedicated. Like this compartment, you know, it has its own separate light. And, you know, of course, those top lights come down and shine here as well. Cup holders have no illumination. This whole compartment moves forward and back and has buttons for that, which are backlit here. This compartment lifts up, and there is a dedicated dedicated light for this compartment. So that's perfect. That looks good. Looks really good. The glove compartment does have a light, and it's looking nice. There's the auto dim rear view mirror. Have backlit buttons up here in addition to those lights up here as well. And you can turn on the individual reading lights up here as well. And the good thing about the reading lights is, from my position, they shine right here. So if I'm gonna read something, they shine right here, and they don't shine in my face. So they don't come this way very much. So that's one good thing about, the reading lights on this vehicle are really well done as far as that goes. They're just using the reading lights as the interior lights, which is a little bit of an issue for me. All right. Now, the visors have a mirror and lights, and they somehow are able to have these fairly bright lights that illuminate your face with no problem, but they're soft enough to not harsh on your eyes. So they do a pretty good job of shining light in your face without being too harsh and still getting good illumination. It's pretty amazing. So well done on that. Let's turn on the camera so you can see what it looks like here. And not bad, and it kind of amplifies my camera's kind of have it blown out a little bit. All right, so that's about what it looks like in real life. So yeah, you can see around the vehicle. It's not super dark in this parking lot, but you always have the zone lighting if you want to turn that on. But yeah, go ahead and put it in reverse. You can see the backup camera. And speaking of cameras, it has the blind spot camera as well. So that turns on left or right or left, and it gives pretty decent visibility. So the camera was able to amplify the existing light enough to where you can see what's going on. It's not like perfect or anything, but it does a decent job. So I'm in a darker area here just to show you the ambient light and how it just kind of, when you have the brightness turned up, it kind of like gives you a little bit of fill light. And so let's go through the colors here. There's that teal, there's the green, orange, blue, different shade of blue, like a pink color. Well, I chose the pink color. Let's go back. Let's try that again. There we go. And then let's choose the red. And then here's the brightness. So you can have the little levels of brightness there, all the way to off. So there's the lowest level without turning it off. And there's maximum brightness, which I like. Even at maximum brightness, it's not a distraction to me. Here's the headlight pattern on a fence. And so there's the high beams, there's the low beams. I like the way it adds additional light. When you turn the high beams on, those additional lights turn on. It's not just refocusing an existing beam. So there's the low beams. Now you'll notice as we drive, there's a little spot right in here where it's like a shadow or a notch, and it is designed to line up with the oncoming lane. So when there's a vehicle coming towards you, it helps, compensate for variations in the road, but also, shiny streets from, say, glare from rain on the street, that kind of thing. But yeah, the cutoff looks a little high, and I guess it's just a high vehicle. So hopefully we're not gonna aim these in people's faces, because these are pretty bright headlights. The screen up here has some flicker. It looks like matrix flickering going on. That's just from my camera. In order to give you a good view of the road, I need to have the camera set up a certain way, which is making a slight conflict with the refresh rate on the LEDs on that screen. So has nothing to do with the actual screen. It's just my camera setup. Okay, so it looks like that shadow is lined up perfectly with the oncoming lane. Let's confirm that here. Yeah, yep, it's lined up. So all the headlights are lined up properly as far as that goes. And it doesn't have like an auto leveling system. It doesn't have any kind of, motion headlights or anything. Just kind of static headlights, which is usually fine as long as they're adjusted properly and they're well done headlights, But yeah, so far with the low beams, I can see on the sides of the road. The actual road in front of me has a good distance, you know, for low beams, so they don't fade out too early. And the brightness is good. And there's a little bit of patchiness, but you know, that's pretty much to be expected with reflector head type headlights. Just a slight patchiness to the light on the road in front of you. I mean, the low beams right now are not like super impressive, but they're definitely adequate. You know, I would be satisfied with these low beams so far. All right, so it's a little bit darker down here, and yeah, low beams are adequate. Not super awesome. Now, just want to mention, my camera has the brightness turned up a little bit higher than what you actually see in real life, so they might look like spectacular headlights, but the reason why is because sometimes you can't see it, the pattern and all that stuff, if we don't do that. Okay, so let's go to the high beams. All right, let's go to high beams. Well, it's automatic high beams. In other words, I have no control. So I got to turn that off. All right, so now let's try that again. So I have just a few opportunities to show you the high beams here on this road. All right, so there we go. Okay, so yeah, this is good. That addition of the light, so we keep the same low beams, we just add the high beams. And I can see the trees in the distance. It actually fills in like near seamlessly. It looks good, it looks great. So there's the low beams. It's not like crazy amazing headlights, but they are really good. The distance, the spread, the way it just aligns perfectly with the low beams to make it look like one, you know, bright floodlight in front of you, and we can just pretty much see everything. The distance in the center is a little bit, you know, it could be a little bit better, but yeah, it's I would say it's adequate. It's definitely in the adequate to a little bit more than adequate. It's a good headlight system here. I would definitely be satisfied with these. You know, the height of the vehicle kind of helps with the distance a little bit, but it's mostly just the design of the headlights. You know, having multiple projectors that line up and are aimed properly, and basically you can see everything in front of you. So yeah, I would say that, you know, the only thing if you know, I were to nitpick, would just have a little bit of a solid on the high beams. It's a little bit more brightness in the very center. Maybe an additional, maybe a projector or something, just to get that light just to get a little bit further down the road. But as it is, I mean, that's nitpicking right there. These are adequate headlights. I think most people would be satisfied with them, especially if they were trading in an older vehicle. To go to these headlights would be really good. Now, you know, I've experienced a lot of vehicles, so, you know, there's some vehicles that are significantly better headlights than these, in my opinion, but these are definitely good. These are really good.